Thanks for a very warm welcome. Pleasure to be here. I have quite a few numbers on my slides, and I also put videos at the end. So if you are not too much into numbers, stay with me till the end and we'll have a little bit of movie screening. And for the main content, I would like to discuss with you 3 keywords, which is digital, future, data, and how it is all connected when we do business. First of all, let's define what digital is. According to Wikipedia, digital is usually referred to something using digits, particularly binary ones. Surprise, surprise. So does digital mean data? At Google, we strongly believe that yes, digital means data. Because at Google, we make decisions based on data. We optimize and organize processes also based on data. And we design products and solutions for our customers and consumers to work with data, to organize them, to optimize it, and to visualize in some way. So let's discuss data a bit more into details. I found this infographics that shows us what happens on the internet within a minute, within 60 seconds. So imagine, within 60 seconds, there are almost 4 million searches happening on Google. Also within 60 seconds, we watch around 4 million videos on YouTube. Within this 1 minute, we also send incredible amount of emails, which is more or less 200 million. So we all know that the data is exploding. It's growing really rapidly. Let's get into details a bit more. So just imagine this. Within the last 2 years, we created bigger amount of data versus all 5,000 years of humanity. So 2 years, 5,000. We created a lot more within these 2 years. And what is happening now, as I said, this number is only growing. It's going to grow 5 times by 2025. 5 times. What is also happening, by 2025, quarter of that data, 25%, is going to be created on the go, instantly. So this is something that we didn't create and store, but this is what we generate on the go. And this contributes to the 5 times growth within the next couple of years. So information is the oil of the 21st century, according to the SVP, Senior VP of Gartner, Peter Sondergaard. Some other thought leaders, they call it as gold of the 21st century. So that's good, but you saw that we were supposed to discuss future. So let's try. Let's try to discuss the future in the context of data and the growth of it. It's really hard to predict the future. So in order to do this, let's get back to our past. So it took 75 years to the telephony technology, to hit the number of 50 million users. For the automobile, it was a bit less. It was 62 years. Then TV, 14 years. Then something happened, and we've got the guys like Spotify, Netflix, Twitter, and this number decreased dramatically. Spotify, 8 years to get 50 million. Netflix, 7 years. Twitter, 9 months. The leader so far is Pokemon Go. The guys managed to hit this number within 19 days. So what happens here, the digital transformation is the answer. We moved from the analog world to the digital. Let's dig into this. So what were the economic growth drivers before and now? So pre-18th century and during the 18th century, cultivation and extraction, they were driving the economies in the world. Then industrialization happened, so we had manufacturing and industry, the growth drivers. Now it is believed to be that computer power, so compute, and human potential, these are going to be the drivers of our economies in the 21st centuries and after that. A few more things to consider. Let's look at the Fortune 500 and compare it. Compare what we have now versus what we had 56 years ago. So as you can see, based on these numbers, only 12% of the companies remained. 88 of them, they either downsized significantly, so they couldn't make it to the list anymore, or they just disappeared completely. So you might have a logical question, so what? Actually, the potential answer is that every company has to be a data company. This is the strong belief that we have in Google. Regardless of what you are doing, whether you are a bakery or tourist agent or omni-channel retailer, you need to have the strong, robust digital strategy in mind, innovate, reinvent, in order to compete and in order to be strong within this wave of data. And it will pay back. Because the digital leaders, so the companies with very strong and robust digital infrastructure and digital strategy, they have 55% average growth, three-year accumulated margin, versus their colleagues having 37 without this robust strategy with data in mind. So how to deal with all this? How to deal with this wave of data? The answer we found at Google is cloud technologies. So it's a new way of thinking and working across the IT environment. This is what we use internally. And what is Google Cloud? In order to answer this question, let's reframe it. What actually is Google? Google is 9 different products, at least 9, with 1 billion and more users per product. Like Search, Android, Chrome, YouTube, Gmail, and other ones. So actually what Google Cloud is the technology, the infrastructure, and people who make all of this, that fuel all this, all the products, all the 9 ones that we mentioned before. So data centers, efficient ones, low latency network that connects these data centers, privately owned by Google. Technology that is innovative enough to change the whole industry, like containerized application creation, Kubernetes. And as I said, people who are obsessed about sharing, people who are obsessed about creating innovation. And now let's discuss the examples how we internally use our own technologies to become better as a company. A question that I would like to ask you: how did you learn your first language? Were you given lots of books, grammar books, and dictionaries to learn it? Or maybe you picked it up somehow automatically. So one of the products, one of the solutions that is within the family of Google Cloud is machine learning and artificial intelligence. That was mentioned before quite a lot. So actually machine learning, Google machine learning, and artificial intelligence, these are technologies that try to replicate how human brain works, how infant learns, without the dictionaries and grammar books, apparently. So we took this technology, we applied to the operations within our Google data center, and we managed to decrease the energy consumption for cooling of the data center by 40%. And by the way, by 2021, 75% of different enterprise applications, they will rely partially or completely on machine learning and artificial intelligence. So have this in mind. Another example of the solutions within the Google Cloud family is, for instance, Cloud Vision API. As you can see, it detects the images on the go. It can detect multiple objects simultaneously, identify them, and that helps to recreate the engagement with your potential customers or users. So you can use this technology. Some of the technology that I mentioned is for free, open source. Something is not. A few more numbers. According to McKinsey, we spend quite a lot of time on doing more and more repetitive things. So we spend at least 8 hours per week on searching for and consolidating information, which is quite a lot. And we use at least 11 hours per week to read through the emails. So without a strong cloud productivity tools, this time is likely to be just lost, wasted. So again, we at Google, we have a solution that we use internally, and this is also sits within the Google Cloud family of products, the G Suite, the cloud native tool for collaboration that empowers us and our customers and users as well when you use the free versions of these products. Example of all of that working together is, for instance, Gmail, where you can see the email being written for you by the machine. So as you can see, the system, that's the machine learning and artificial intelligence in action. As you can see, the system is understanding what you're writing and pushing you the content that you want to continue your phrase with. And it happens in the instant regime. So you might say, okay, nice, but we are not Google. We don't have capacity to design these products and implement them for our own solutions. But you don't have to, because I want to start closing with the Rupert Murdoch phrase that the world is changing and big will not beat the small anymore. It will be the fast beating the slow. So be agile, innovate, have data in mind in order to deal with the fast-pacing world that we have today, and have the security threats that, that exist as well. Factor that in mind, factor them in. Think bigger, and feel free to use the best of Google innovations to solve the problems that matter to you, to your company, to your customers. Thank you, and now I would like to do the movie screen, a little bit of it. Here you saw how Google Cloud technologies are used in order to create different things and to change the world. I have two more.
Whoa. Next Friday's pitch.
By tomorrow.
Way to go, Berlin. Hey Google, join the meeting.
This is the collaboration platform that we use internally, and we kind of work like that, similar. And the last one, this is the story that I really like, the inspirational from London, how we work together with the guys who are trying to save the nature and help them to do it.
The main challenges facing wildlife today is habitat loss, climate change, and threats from the illegal wildlife trade. ZSL's mission is to create a world where wildlife thrives. We work in over 50 countries around the world where we empower and inform people to help stop wild animals going extinct. We have been working with Google to look at how we can use Cloud AutoML to really make a difference.
We use camera traps to monitor the state of the planet. They are tiny little digital cameras hooked up to a little motion sensor basically, so when an animal walks past they snap a little photo which you can then retrieve at a later time. As well as telling you about how abundant different species are, they can also offer behavioural insights as well.
One camera trap study generates hundreds of thousands of images. So over 6 months, you might get 500,000 images that you need to sort through and analyse.
You've got to go through every single image. You've got to label them, the time, the date, what it contained, which camera it was. At the moment, it takes months.
If we can speed up the analysis from 6 months to just days, that's revolutionary in our conservation efforts. Google Cloud AutoML allows conservationists who are non-coders to use machine learning to create image recognition models to identify species in camera trap images.
These are images that I have labelled, and they're going to teach the AutoML algorithm what different species look like.
If you can just AutoML it, you could go, show me the images that are empty, show me the images that have the animal that I'm interested in. You can actually use your scientific research and conservation time to do conservation rather than doing data analysis.
We might use the data to actually influence policy change or conservation action. AI is going to play a really big part in collecting all the data together from wildlife conservation sites around the world. And if we do that in real time, we can use AutoML to really monitor the pulse of wildlife across the planet.